about details. If I said, look at my shirt, we're talking about my shirt. But if we're going to look at the details, we're going to look at the different parts of my shirt. So what are some details about my shirt? We could say my shirt has stripes, right? Okay, Casey? There are sparklies on my shirt. Drake?
There's beads on your shirt.
There are beads. Parker, can you think of the detail?
There are stars.
Little stars, little sequins. Mm-hmm. Actually, that's the glue where the rest of the sequins and beads used to be. Oh, so the design that they make. Very good. So if we're talking about my shirt would be the main idea, right? What's the main idea of what we're talking about? My shirt. The details are the little things about my shirt. Okay? So when we read a book, what the whole book about is the main idea. And we talked about that yesterday. We read the passages with the whisper phones, and then we decided, what is this all about? The details are all of those other things that tell you more about the main idea. This is my most favorite book in all the world. And Parker knows it because I've read it to him many times before.
Yes.
Have you ever heard The Giving Tree by Shel Silverstein? I don't know if it's Silverstein or Silverstein. Have you ever heard this? Okay.
She used to read it every single time.
This is a very good book, and we're going to go through this, and then we're going to talk about what is the main idea. We're going to talk about the different details, and then I'm going to show you an activity we're going to do. So this is The Giving Tree by Shel Silverstein. Do you have a question? All right. Once there was a tree, and she loved a little boy. Do you see a little boy coming into the picture here? And every day, the boy would come, and he would gather her leaves. Before I continue, is this a true story, or is this fantasy?
True.
You think it's true?
True.
Do you think that a tree could express love?
Oh,
No. It might be in that some of these things may have happened, but in this story, our tree takes on it's sort of like a person. So this isn't a true story. It says he makes them into crowns and plays king of the forest. He does this with the leaves from the tree that loves the little boy. He would climb up her trunk and swing from her branches.
Kind of looks like his ears are hanging out.
Mm-hmm. And eat apples. What kind of tree is this?
Apple tree.
Apple tree.
No, it's a giving tree.
It is the giving tree. It's the giving apple tree. And they would play hide and go seek.
How can we hide and go seek?
Well, he's hiding behind the rock, but it's easy for her to find him, isn't it? You ever play hide and go seek with someone younger than you?
Yeah.
And maybe you pretend like you can't find them. And when he was tired, he would sleep in her shade. And the boy loved the tree very much. And the tree was happy. And here he's carved into the tree. M-E, me, plus T.
Tree.
But time went by. What do you notice about the boy now?
He's grown.
He's getting bigger, isn't he? And the boy grew older. There's a new heart on the tree, isn't there? And look, there's someone else with a boy. Maybe a girl. And the tree was often alone. Then one day, the boy came to the tree, and the tree said, "Come, boy, come and climb up my trunk, and swing from my branches, and eat apples, and play in my shade, and be happy." "I am too big to climb and play," said the boy. "I want to buy things and have fun. I want some money. Can you give me some money?" "I'm sorry," said the tree. "I have no money. I have only leaves and apples." "Take my apples, boy, and sell them in the city. Then you will have money, and you will be happy." And so the boy climbed up the tree and gathered her apples and carried them away. And the tree was happy. Why do you think the tree was happy? got what he wanted, and that made the tree happy because she was giving of herself. But the boy stayed away for a long time, and the tree was sad. And then one day the boy came back, and the tree shook with joy, and she said, "Come, boy, climb up my trunk and swing from my branches and be happy." "I am too busy to climb trees," said the boy. "I want a house to keep me warm," he said. "I want a wife, and I want children, and so I need a house. Can you give me a house?" "I have no house," said the tree. "The forest is my house, but you may cut off my branches and build a house. Then you will be happy." And so the boy cut off her branches and carried them away to build his house. And the tree was happy. But the boy stayed away for a long time, and when he came back, the tree was so happy she could hardly speak. "Come, boy," she whispered, "come and play." "I am too old and sad to play," said the boy. "I want a boat that will take me far away from here." "Can you give me a boat?" "Cut down my trunk and make a boat," said the tree. "Then you can sail away and be happy." See a boy anymore?
No,
No.
not like an old person.
He's an old man. And so the boy cut down her trunk and made a boat and sailed away. And the tree was happy, but not really. What's left of the tree?
Just a little stem.
Just the stump. And after a long time, the boy came back again. "I am sorry, boy," said the tree, "but I have nothing left to give you. My apples are gone." "My teeth are too weak for apples," said the boy. "My branches are gone," said the tree. "You cannot swing on them." "I'm too old to swing on branches," said the boy. "My trunk is gone," said the tree. "You cannot climb." "I'm too tired to climb," said the boy. "I'm sorry," said the tree. "I wish that I could give you something, but I have nothing left. I am just an old stump. I am sorry." "I don't need very much now," said the boy. "Just a quiet place to sit and rest. I am very tired." "Well," said the tree, straightening herself up as much as she could, "well, an old stump is good for sitting and resting. Come, boy, sit down. Sit down and rest." And the boy did. And the tree was happy. The end. Did you guys like that story?
Yeah.
Did it make you kind of sad?
No.
Kind of makes me kind of sad, but I really like it. Okay, so here I'm going to show you what we are going to do. What you guys will do, like I said, is watch something on the iPad. I have made an example out of the giving tree. This is a foldable. Has my name at the top. It says main ideas and details. What do we know about those words? Those are our what? They are our vocabulary words. The title is here, The Giving Tree, and the author, Shel Silverstein. Now when you open it up, can everybody see this all right?
Yeah.
It says, what is the main idea of the story? Draw and write. I wrote for the main idea, the tree gave the boy everything. And then I drew a picture of the stump because that's what was left after she gave him everything. And then down here we're going to do 3 details. So key detail number 1. You'll write, and it's just 1 sentence, but then you'll draw a picture to match it. I wrote, the tree gave the boy apples. And I drew some apples. Key detail number 2. The tree let the boy cut down her trunk. Well, that's another detail too. Good. What I did is I just chose 3 details. There are a lot of details in some stories, but I'm just asking you to choose 3, okay? Then the 3rd detail is the boy came back to the tree, because that's my favorite part. Okay? So here he is. He's a little man, and he's sitting on the stump. So that is what we will do. There is a place on the back that says draw a picture of your favorite part of the story. Since I already drew my favorite part, then I drew when he was a little boy, and him and the tree were both so happy. So that's what I drew on the back. So what we are going to do is watch a video on an iPad that I have right over here. And I'll bring it over to the table. Now, while you watch this video, I want you to think about the details that you hear in the story. when we get our papers to fill out, we'll all write on there, because the name of our book is The Monster Club.
The Monster Club, written by Carlos Romero,
And that's for the top.
illustrated by James Caridatis.
Everyone see and hear okay? Okay.
The Monster Club, written by Carlos
Oh,
Romero,
we just did that.
illustrated. Sally was nervous. Today was her first day at a new school. She had just moved to the small town of Copper Pine with her parents. It was far away from all of Sally's friends. "I'm feeling sick today," Sally told her mom at breakfast. She did not want to go to school. She was afraid that no one would like her. "You look fine to me," her mom said. "You better hurry up. You do not want to miss the bus on the first day of school." Sally sighed. She picked up her backpack and put on her lucky red watch. She groaned as she walked out the door. The day passed in a blur. She was too nervous to make new friends, and many kids ignored her anyway. After school, Sally walked along the swamp toward her house. The path grew dark under the tangled shadows of tall trees. Sally soon realized that she was lost. The trees all looked the same. There were no signs to point a way out of the swamp. Sally was scared. She began to run and tripped over a log. She landed near a trail of slimy green footprints. "What is that?" she thought. She followed the footprints to the edge of the swamp. The bank was thick with reeds and high grass. The trail of slime floated out to the middle of the swamp. There, strange bubbles floated on the top of the water.
I'm scared. I'm scared.
Suddenly, a creature burst out of the water and landed on the shore. The monster was dripping big globs of slime from its head and shoulders. Its face was shaped like a snapping turtle. His small eyes were red and angry. Sally shrieked. At that moment, a tall boy with freckles jumped out of the forest. He held a big red flashlight. Next to him was a smaller boy wearing bulky headphones. Both boys shouted, trying to draw the creature away from Sally. The creature turned towards the boys. The tall freckled boy tried to blind the monster. He aimed the flashlight at his eyes. The monster swiped at him with a powerful arm. The boy was knocked into the swamp. The monster turned to face the other boy. The boy walked up and bowed to the creature. His bulky headphones bobbed up and down on his head. The monster looked at him curiously for a moment. It then roared loudly. The sound was so powerful it knocked the boy over. "Make it bow! Make it bow!" the tall freckled boy shouted from the swamp. He threw the flashlight to Sally. Sally was shaking with fear, but she had an idea. She aimed the flashlight at her lucky red watch. The light reflected off the watch and struck the monster's eyes. The surprised monster fell forward, tripping over the smaller boy. Sally couldn't believe her eyes. Water spilled out from the monster's head. The monster cried out as it dove back into the water. It swam away, leaving a thin trail of dark green slime behind it. The tall boy crawled out of the swamp. He was soaked. "Hey, thanks for helping us," he said. "Kapas are pretty dangerous. By the way, I'm Tom. This is Kenji." Sally shook his hand. "I'm Sally," she said. "What is a kapa?" "A Japanese monster," Kenji said. "They can be defeated if you spill the water out of their heads. Copper Pine is full of them. We are part of a club that fights them. Our club is called the MC. That's short for Monster Club." Sally looked at Tom and then at Kenji. "I'm new in town and don't know anyone," she two boys glanced at each other. "We've never had a girl in the club," Kenji said. "What do you think, Tom?" "Well, her move with the flashlight and her watch was pretty good," Tom said. The boys were quiet for a moment. Then Tom said, "I say we give her a try. You're in." Sally was happy. She had just made her first friends. "The Kapas aren't the only monsters in Copper Pine," Kenji said. "There are lots of other kinds, too. It's pretty weird here sometimes." Sally gulped hard. Maybe joining this club was a big mistake, she thought to herself. But it will be a great adventure.
Okay. Would you guys like to join the Monster Club? Sure, not me.
Taekwondo moves.
Taekwondo moves, that's good. Okay.